Viewers, you're watching Explosive Exclusive with me, Rahul Shivshankar, and once again, viewers, we are going to be setting the narrative by bringing to you an exclusive story that no other channel is reporting. This is, of course, in continuance with our continued investigative examination of the facts with regards to the Karauli riots in Rajasthan. Now, viewers, you will remember that the Karauli riots took place 18 days ago on Ram Navami. Viewers, once again in the lanes of Karoli, you saw clashes. You saw mobs going at each other. You saw individuals led by a Congress ally attacking a procession of Hindus. Viewers, now there has been no attempt at catching the principal accused who have been caught on camera trying to instigate a massive riot by targeting the members of the Hindu community and that procession, the Ram Navami procession, the Shobha Yatra. Matloob, who is seen on camera, and just look to the left of your screens, and some of his relatives, Mushtaq and others, are still on the run. They've not been arrested. When you ask the Ashok Gehlot government, what are you doing about it? They mouth inanities. They say, go and ask the Prime Minister, he's in charge. Well, viewers, whether it's in court or it's in any other capacity, in any other forum, the attempt has been made to portray one community, the Hindu community, exceptionally as the provocateurs. And even where they're not, there's an attempt to try and implicate them. What are we seeing, viewers, in Karoli? In Karoli, not only did the police abet in the violence by allowing Matloob and his gang a free run by saying, chalo, chalo, bhag jao, ho gaya. And we brought you those pictures. Not only, viewers, are these individuals not being prosecuted or arrested, but, viewers, the travesty is being compounded by arresting members of the Hindu community. One of these individuals, viewers, is an individual called Jitu. Now, Jitu, viewers, Jitu Shukla, to be absolutely exact, was not even present in Karoli, but he has been booked. And the state is hunting high and low for him. He even posted videos and did a Facebook Live from the Dharna site on that very day. He's accused to have been part of rioting in Karoli. He was miles away in Jaipur. How could a person have made it from Karoli to Jaipur within half an hour or 1 hour? Viewers, quite clearly, something is very wrong. Jitu Shukla, the man on your screens right now, is completely bemused by the fact that his name has popped up in the FIR. Hear him speak, viewers, as he tells you about his dismay and about perhaps why he believes he is being implicated.
ऐसा लग रहा है मेरी लाइफ में कि मैं एक अपराधियों का सा जो जीवन होता है वो व्यतीत कर रहा हूँ, जबकि मैं एक अपराधी नहीं हूँ, जिसके मेरे पास पुख्ता सबूत हैं और जो साक्ष्य हैं वो मेरे पास उपलब्ध हैं, जो मेरे भाइयों ने, जो गृह विभाग की टीम आई है उसको भी उपलब्ध कराए हैं, माननीय पुलिस अधीक्षक महोदय को भी आज उपलब्ध कराए हैं। लेकिन मुझे ऐसे जीवन यापन करना पड़ रहा है पिछले 2-4 दिनों से, जब से मुझे जानकारी लगी कि मेरे नाम FIR कर दी गई उस दिन की, जब मैं करौली में था ही नहीं, तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं एक अपराधी बना दिया गया हूँ। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है एक आम इंसान या जो आम व्यक्ति होता है वो इसी तरीके से बागी बनता है।
What is even more dismaying is that the distance between Jaipur and Karauli, viewers, and it's on your screens, is 173 kilometers. And to traverse 173 kilometers, do the maths, it will take at least least 4 hours by car. There are no flights. There is no teleportation facility where you can go from one to the other. He's not one of the lead players in Star Trek. Viewers, the fact is that the police here is covering itself in one inglory after another. The question is why? Let me go straight across to Bhavan, who joins us. Bhavan, you've been leading this investigation. आपकी investigation से पुलिस और जो वहां की राज्य सरकार है, कांग्रेस सरकार, गहलोत सरकार, उनको बहुत से सवालों का जवाब देना पड़ रहा है. ये लेटेस्ट केस तो एकदम ही अजब है. इसके बारे में थोड़ा आप बताइए.
देखिए, जिस तरीके से ये केस दर्ज हुआ है उसमें ये बताया जा रहा है कि एक मिस्टर हाजी हैं, उन्होंने ये केस दर्ज कराया और वो भी घटनाक्रम के तकरीबन 8 दिन बाद. 2 तारीख को एक घटनाक्रम होता है, 8 तारीख माफ कीजिएगा 10 तारीख को एक एफआईआर दर्ज कराई जाती है जिसमें कहा जाता है कि मेरी दुकान में आग लगाई गई, दुकान को लूटकर ट्रैक्टर ट्रॉली में सामान भरकर ले जाया गया. अब यहाँ देखने वाली बात ये होगी, जिस व्यक्ति को इसमें शामिल किया गया, जिस पर आरोप लगाए गए, वह व्यक्ति सुबह यानी घटनाक्रम के 2 तारीख के सुबह करीबन 6:30 बजे घर से निकलता है जयपुर के लिए. जयपुर पहुंचता है, वहां जाकर एक अनशन में शामिल होता है और पूरी रात तक वो व्यक्ति वहीं रहता है. और पूरी रात ही नहीं बल्कि 14 तारीख तक उस व्यक्ति की लोकेशन जयपुर ही होती है. ऐसे में 10 तारीख को एकदम से याद आती है कि इस व्यक्ति ने ये किया है और फिर उसके खिलाफ एक एफआईआर दर्ज होती है. ऐसे में सवाल ये उठता है कि क्या उस लोकेशन को ट्रैक नहीं किया जाना चाहिए था? वह व्यक्ति, उसके परिजन पुलिस अधिकारियों से भी लगातार मिल रहे हैं, लेकिन बावजूद उसके उस पर ध्यान नहीं दिया गया और उस पर आरोप तय कर दिए गए. उसके परिजनों ने आज हमें बताया कि जिस तरीके से वहां डिप्टी से बात हुई, डिप्टी ने भी ये कहा कि ठीक है, इस पर फेसबुक लाइव पर हम नहीं जा सकते, जो होगा उसको जांच के बाद उसको देखेंगे, ये कह करके उनके परिवार वालों को भेज दिया गया. लेकिन मैं बता दूं कि न सिर्फ फेसबुक लाइव बल्कि हमने भी जो गूगल मैपिंग होती है उसके जरिए उनको ट्रैक किया. उनके नंबर पे पूरा ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड निकाला 2 तारीख का, तो वो ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड अक्षर से वही आ रहा है जो वो हमें बता रहे हैं. और इसका मेल खाना संभव इसलिए भी हो जा रहा है क्योंकि जो वो बता रहे हैं उसी समय पर लाइव जयपुर से हो भी रहा है. तो इससे ये सिद्ध होता है कि जिस लाइव लोकेशन पर वो लोग हैं वहीं से लाइव किया जा रहा है, वहीं वह व्यक्ति मौजूद है और उस व्यक्ति की लोकेशन करौली में नहीं है. ऐसे में ऐसे व्यक्ति पर आरोप तय करना, जिस तरीके की उसने कहा कि मैं ऐसा महसूस कर रहा हूं जैसे कोई बहुत बड़ा अपराधी हो गया हूं, उन्होंने कहा कि ऐसे ही लोग बागी हो जाते हैं. तो ऐसे में सवाल यही है कि तो क्या पुलिस को, क्या सरकार को इस तरह के लोगों की सुरक्षा नहीं करनी चाहिए थी, बजाय इसके कि उन पर आरोप मंड दिए गए सिर्फ अपने आरोपियों की लिस्ट बढ़ाने के लिए, अपने आकाओं को खुश रखने के लिए. जी,
कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है. देयर इज सम प्रॉब्लम हियर व्यूअर्स. 463 hours have passed. 20 days, that is almost 20 days have passed, viewers, and we have no trace of the individuals who were seen rioting and directing the riots on camera. They remain untraced, but an individual who was 400 kilometers away is booked, and they are hunting high and low for that individual. And he happens to be Jitu Shukla. Viewers, a large number of individuals are beginning to wonder if these are just sins of omission or this is part of a large cover-up. I want to bring in Pranesh and Madhav both. Pranesh, there have been so many omissions in this particular case that it now doesn't appear to be coincidental. Am I wrong?
Not at all, Rahul. The man who was at a dharna in Jaipur is booked by the Gehlot police, but man who was caught on camera, who was part of the danga, is still roaming free. If this is not travesty, if this is not injustice, then what it is? And Rahul, if chalo chalo bhag jao shocked one and all, then this police action in this case where Jitu Shukla, who was not even in Karoli, beggars belief completely. This man was 176 kilometers to be precise, 176 kilometers away in Jaipur, And why is the Facebook live that Bhavar was talking, why is that important? Because when he's doing, and we put out those pictures, when he's doing the Facebook live, you can see the dharna happening behind him. Some of the others who were part of the dharna are fairly well known, can be seen in this video. Also, an important landmark of Jaipur where this dharna was taking place can be easily identified from the Facebook live that Jitu was doing. But all this has been dismissed completely. And the Gehlot police SP that Bhavar spoke to is saying, look, we can't go after Matloob. We don't know whether Matloob Ahmed is the main accused because we don't know whether he was there or not. What would you say to a police like this?
Now let me tell you. Yes, let me tell you, viewers, we produced this FIR and he's booked for arson. Madhav booked for arson that was happening allegedly when Jitu was part of a dharna in Jaipur. Now, the BJP, others are saying that there is here a mala fide intent to try in any which way blame Hindus. We saw that in the court today, Madhav, when you were privy to those hearings. We saw Kapil Sibal of the Congress party. Of course, he was speaking for the Jamaat there, Ulema-e-Hind. He went into court and said that in northwest Delhi, in Jahangirpuri, the attempt by the state was to punish only the Muslim rioters. Even the court, even the Supreme Court Justice came out and said, on what basis are you saying this when Hindu homes, Hindu establishments have also been knocked down? So clearly there seems to be an attempt to whip up a completely one-sided narrative here to poison minds or to sow the seeds of discord, and this is really becoming problematic, isn't it, Madhav?
Well, absolutely, Rahul. And in fact, what you're referring to is, of course, the Jahangirpuri violence case and that hearing that took place in Apex Court. And certainly the comments of Kapil Sibal have led to the BJP questioning Kapil Sibal for earlier also saying that the hearing as far as Ayodhya case is concerned should be deferred till after elections. And clearly, of course, that hearing and that controversy notwithstanding, over here, the role of the police in Karauli has come under question not once, not twice, but several times. One is, of course, that video where they are allowing those who are responsible or at least appear to be responsible in that video for carrying out the violence to give them safe passage, saying chalo chalo bhag jao. Then there is, of course, the incredible question of Matloob Ahmed, who you rightly mentioned is accused of arson, and the police have still not been able to bring him to justice and now have come out to say that they cannot take action against him. Why can the due process of law not be followed when there is video of this individual and when he has been named in an FIR? If the police have to give him a clean sheet, are they going to say so, and on what basis are they going to say so? There are many questions, but what is quite shocking in this case is of an individual whose Facebook live clearly shows his location in Jaipur at a prominent landmark there, where there are several other individuals there, which is leading him to ask whether he's being deliberately targeted. Is there a pattern or a manner in which the Karauli police is acting only to target members of a particular community? That's certainly a very big question that comes to mind. Remember that this is an episode that has hugely embarrassed the Rajasthan government. Now perhaps there is some kind of attempt at directing the investigation, or certainly the questions that seem to be raised is whether the investigation is being directed in a particular manner to give a face saver to the government. Those are some very, very important questions with both the police as well as the administration will have to answer, Rahul.
Pranesh and Bhavar, first Pranesh, what adds to the suspicion is that in Madhya Pradesh, in Khargon, the house of an innocent Muslim lady was knocked down. And it turned out that the house was built under the Prime Minister Awas Yojana. The government there apologizes and has in some way or the other compensated the lady. Here, the state is not even apologizing. Even when the facts are presented to it, the state defends its action. The state brazens it out. The state also doesn't seem to be acting with alacrity against those that are seen visibly on tape leading the riots. Now, this appears at least to the untrained eye, the unsuspecting gaze, that there is some conspiracy here, Pranesh.
Rahul, the first step is admission. The state will not apologize because that nails their guilt. And the state abdication has been caught on camera, and that story was broken first by Times Now. After relentless reportage by Times Now, all the other media channels picked up the Karauli story, but the relentless investigation by Bhavar and team continues, and look, every day a new facet is unraveling. In the name of probe, this is complete sham going on. Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister, who has the goal to say that, look, Home Minister Amit Shah must answer, Prime Minister Modi must answer, he should now break his silence. Because there are not just 1 or 2 videos, there are at least 6 videos that the Gehlot government must take cognizance of, and only after it does so can they go on the manhunt for Matloob and Mushtaq, who are the prime accused, who are leading the mob, directing people there on the ground, but according to the Rajasthan police, they are not principal accused.
Let me go across to Bhavar. Bhavar, ये जो अजब अद्भुत जो आपने न्यूज ब्रेक की है, इसमें अभी जो राजस्थान पुलिस है ये क्या करेगी? क्योंकि अगर जीतू शुक्ला वहां थे ही नहीं, वो जयपुर में थे, 4 घंटे दूर थे, 240 किलोमीटर दूर थे, तो अब वो क्या कर रही है? क्या वो ये केस वापस विड्रॉ करेगी या इसको जस्टिफाई करने की कोशिश हो रही है?
देखिए 10 तारीख को ये केस दर्ज होता है और 10 तारीख से ये मामला पुलिस के संज्ञान में आता है। जो आरोपी बनाया गया उसके परिजन मिलते हैं, तमाम वीडियोस दिखाते हैं, लेकिन पुलिस टस से मस नहीं होती है। अभी तक उस एफआईआर को वापस नहीं लिया गया। अभी तक सिर्फ ये कहा जा रहा है कि अनुसंधान जारी है, जैसा कि एक तकिया कलाम बन गया है करौली पुलिस का। जब से हम इस पूरे मामले को देखने लगे हैं तब से डे फर्स्ट पहले दिन से पुलिस की जो नकर्मण्यता है, पुलिस का जो निठल्लापन है वो सामने आया। पुलिस ने जिस तरीके से उनसे कहा कि ठीक है चले जाओ, वो तोड़ा, लेकिन किसी पर कार्रवाई नहीं। डीजीपी वही भाषा बोलते हैं जो मुख्यमंत्री बोल रहे हैं। वो कह रहे हैं कि वो पार्षद है। अब पार्षद है इसलिए गुनहगार नहीं है, ये डीजीपी की निगाहों में है, वो एक सम्माननीय व्यक्ति है। लेकिन किसी का पार्षद होना, किसी का अपराधी होना, ये दोनों अलग अलग बात होती है। लेकिन पुलिस की भाषा देखिए किस तरह की है। जो लोग हमने वीडियोस में दिखाए और उनका स्टिंग भी किया कि किस तरीके से ये लोग वहां पर खड़े थे, मूक दर्शक बने हुए थे, और वही लोग अब इन्वेस्टिगेशन में शामिल हैं। वही लोग अधिकारियों को तमाम रिपोर्ट्स दे रहे हैं। वही एसएचओ वही है, वही डिप्टी वही है, वो सब तमाम कांस्टेबल्स वही हैं। किसी एक सिंगल पर्सन पर कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। ठीक है, हमने जो स्टिंग किया उसको अगर आधार मानते, और उसको ही नहीं, उसको आधार माना जाता जिसमें आईजी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, राजस्थान के पूरे लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के जो आईजी हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि करौली पुलिस फेलियर रहा है। सबसे पहले फर्स्ट पोस्टिंग एसपी देना ही गलत था। उसके अलावा जो 10 नियम बनाए गए थे, जो गाइडलाइन जारी की गई थी एडीजी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की तरफ से, उसका पालन पूरे राजस्थान ने किया, लेकिन करौली ने नहीं किया। ऐसे में ऐसा करौली पर क्या दबाव था, क्या पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर था कि करौली की पुलिस मूक दर्शक बनी रहती है? वो तमाम लोग वही काम करते रहते हैं जो लोग अपनी ड्यूटी नहीं निभा रहे थे। एक तस्वीर ऐसी भी आई थी जहां एक पुलिस वाले ने एक बच्चे को आग की लपटों से निकाला था। तो ये तस्वीर एक हो सकती है, लेकिन ऐसी तस्वीरें बहुत सारी अगर होती तो शायद राजस्थान पुलिस का नाम बहुत अच्छे अक्षरों में लिखा जाता। लेकिन अब करौली को लेकर खुद उनके अधिकारी उस पर सवाल कर रहे हैं।
पैटर्न है इसमें, कोई तो पैटर्न है। There seems to be a pattern emerging, viewers. Let's also focus a little bit on Matloob. Now, the individual to the left of your screens, viewers, as you look at the screen, you can see in a circle, there are some individuals talking on a phone. These are the principal accused in this riot. Matloob has been named from day one, untraced for 20 days. The others are members of his family. They too have not been named but have been caught on camera, and I'll show you that also in just a few moments. But viewers, as I told you, 20 days have passed. 460 plus hours and counting have passed. These individuals are untraceable. When we spoke to the SP, the superintendent of police, he was extremely evasive. Listen again.
37 लोगों के खिलाफ नामजद एफआईआर हुई थी, उसमें मतलूब का भी नाम था। तो उसके लिए अपनी टीम बना दी गई है। 3 एसएचओज हैं, डिप्टी एसपी के नेतृत्व में टीमें हैं। लगातार जगह जो उसके संभावित स्थान है वहां पर दबिश दी जा रही है और जल्द से जल्द उसकी गिरफ्तारी की जाएगी।
क्या हम बोल सकते हैं कि कोई नेग्लिजेंस हो रही है ग्राउंड पे, या कब तक हमको नतीजा दिखेगा मतलूब अहमद या मुश्ताक अहमद जो इनका नाम लगातार सामने आ रहा है?
देखिए, इसमें कोई प्राइम एक्यूज्ड या ऐसी कोई अपने स्तर पे जो पूरी चीज़ें हैं वो तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद ही क्लियर होंगी। प्राइमा फेसी जो पूरा घटनाक्रम हुआ है, इनमें जिन भी लोगों के लिए नाम आए उन सब के लिए पुलिस लगी हुई है लगातार।
Let me go straight across to Madhav. Madhav, has the Bharatiya Janata Party now made a demand for an independent investigation into Karauli? I remember a few weeks ago, there was some murmur in the party that this particular case should be handed over to an independent agency, perhaps even a judicial commission. Then you had Tejasvi Surya and other central leadership and of course the student wing members and the Yuva Manch of the Bharatiya Janata Party making its way to Karoli. There was a showdown at the outskirts of Karoli as well as of course in other parts of the state as these leaders tried to make their way to Karoli. But how seriously, how much pressure is being put on the state government or even the courts to look into this issue and order maybe even a court-monitored investigation?
Well, Rahul, this demand has been on for a while now, as you rightly said, right from the early days of, the revelations that came out of the huge violations that took place in Karauli, ignoring the kind of statements that were given earlier that there could potentially be violence. The state police there completely abdicating its duty in terms of taking preparatory action, which could have potentially prevented this entire series of law and order violations from actually taking place on ground, which would have actually prevented any of this from actually taking place. That's where, in fact, the role of the state police first came into question. And from that time itself, from those revelations itself, right after this violence took place, there have been demands of several leaders, including members of parliament and other leaders of the BJP, saying that there should be an independent probe because they have felt that the state government and the state police would not be able to do a fair investigation. And this is exactly what we have seen, unfortunately, on ground, that week after week, there are fresh revelations that come in which raise serious questions about the fairness of the manner.
Fresh revelations on a daily basis as far as Karauli investigation is concerned. Madhav, Bhavar, stay with us. Let's open this up. Tom Vadakkan joining us, national spokesperson of the BJP. Manasvi Thapad, political analyst, advocate. Meeta Chakrabarti, political analyst, also joining us. Manasvi, let me begin by asking you, the person who's at a dharna site in Jaipur, 176 kilometers away from Karauli, is booked. Matloob, Mushtaq are at the Danga site. They are still free.
Matloob is not free, I guess, and he'll be booked very soon. Let the investigation be completed. We should wait for the investigation to be completed, and let's not create any kind of aspersions before the investigation is concluded. Yes, whatever evidences are being brought by Times Now are news breaking, and I think the investigating authorities will look into every aspect of it. If someone is guilty, he'll be behind the bars very soon. If someone is not guilty, the law will take its own course, and a non-guilty person will never go behind the bars. That's for sure. Let's trust the investigating authorities.
Okay, trust the investigation by the Gehlot government, says Manasvi Thapar. Mr. Vadakkan, what would you say?
Well, it is very clear. I must compliment the Times Network for getting down to the root of the issue. I must also tell you that Mr. Gehlot is a professional magician. Okay, he entered politics after that, and his magic capabilities of magic is extraordinary. He can shift people from one area at a short notice, and his police works accordingly. So this magician has worked his magic. The objective is to blame one community. I'm telling you facts, Manasvi. If you check his background, he has had many magic shows, so don't look alarmed. This is a reality. And this cover-up operation that he indulges in I mean, is visible. It's part of the toolkit operation that's going on across the country. We have seen that in Delhi. We have seen that in...
No, toolkit to subvert, probe, toolkit to deny justice. Meeta Chakrabarti, what do you make of what's going on?
Good evening to all your viewers. What I do make out of the entire proceeding is that there is this ongoing environment of communal disharmony and hatred in different parts of India, and that is very problematic. Trying to make it a Muslim and Hindu narrative is very problematic and disturbing. Antisocial elements can belong to any community, and the law has to be same. We are not investigating agencies.
Ma'am, I'm glad you said that the law has to be same, because in Rajasthan it's clearly not the same, or so it seems. Because look,
can I just complete?
No, Meeta Chakrabarti, I just want you to have a look at the screen. Matloob Mushtaq, both cousins, caught on camera with the rioters. They are they are yet to be nabbed, and the man who was almost 200 kilometers away is being booked. And the Gehlot government and the Gehlot police says, look, we don't know whether Mushtaq and Matloob are even the main accused in the case. Now, if this is not travesty of justice, then I don't know what to say. We've run out of time. Meeta Chakrabarti, Manasvi Thapa, Tom Vadakkan, thank you for joining us on Times Now.
Powered by Ebix Cash. हर